People have been asking me to do a reading on a video, and I have a willing volunteer, my girl Chelsea. So I'm going to call her now. Like I said, if you want a phone call, it would be the same thing. And I've also done a reading through email as well, so it's all possible. Okay, so I'm going to call her now and get it started. Hey, Chelsea.
Hi, Jackie.
How are you?
I'm cool. Cool as fuck.
That's awesome.
How are you?
I'm wonderful, actually. Today's a good day. Yeah. So you got some cartoons on in the background. That's dope.
Yeah, man. It's the same thing I do every day because my classes normally don't start till like 2, so I'm up in here watching cartoons like 8 a.m.
I respect it. I respect it.
It was really cool, though.
I really like your hair. Sorry to interrupt you.
It's like yarn braids.
That's sick, though. That's so sick. I like it. So yeah, so I'm recording your voice only, and the camera is to my left, so they can't see you at all. They can only hear your voice. And you know, this is gonna be a video that's up on YouTube, just so you know. So
yeah,
just letting you know, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, just a brief warning if you wanna, you know what I mean? But yeah. So anyway, so have you ever had a tarot reading before?
No.
Okay. Well, typically a lot of people that have come to me haven't before either, so what I like to walk them through is, you know, I typically do a 3-card read to start, and that, you know, helps me with past, present, and future. It just gives me a look at, you know, your spirit currently, how it was before, and what you're actually moving towards. Then I do a 4-card read, which signifies romance, career, health, happiness, and finances. And then typically if that person did have a specific question, you know, it usually is answered within the card read of the first 2 at least. But if you wanted me to kind of go in depth and talk about something more that kind of, you know, sparked your interest, you just let me know, and then, you know, we'll go on with that. Okay? All right, does that work?
Yeah.
All right, wonderful. Alright, so typically I also have the person talk a little bit in the beginning, you know, like just something real quick about, you know, maybe what they had for breakfast, just so I can kind of get your voice and so I can shuffle the cards while you speak.
Okay. I haven't had breakfast yet, actually, even though I've been up. And, like, I have this leftover Chinese because my birthday was yesterday.
Oh, happy belated!
Thank you!
You're welcome.
With my friend. And I was like, I'm going to take some of this home. I'm going to eat it tomorrow. But I've just been, like, saving it. It's right here. Like, I'm literally, like, looking at it.
You know, if you wanted to eat it during the reading, I wouldn't think it was rude. Like, I'm going to be talking a lot. So, feel free to get your eat on if you wanted to. Do you want to pause and go get your fork? We can pause.
Yeah.
Carry on. See, I'm not like your other tarot people. I'll let you grub. I'll let you get your grub on in the middle of the fucking read. I don't care. All I need is your spirit. All I need is your spirit. Alright, so as I said before, I start off with a 3-card read, which represents past, present, and future. And then I ask your permission if I can go on to the 2nd read, because some people don't want to hear more. And again, just for our viewers at home. Hold on. Alright. Let me. I'm sorry. Please don't look at me. And for all you viewers at home, I can't remember what the fuck I was gonna say because I sound like such a douchebag. Like, I can't even remember what the fuck I was gonna say.
So, maybe say, like, just so you guys know instead of, like, just so you know.
I don't even know what I was gonna say, so I'm just gonna move on. Alright.
You were talking about how people are like, no, don't tell me more.
Yeah. Well, no, oh yeah. No, some people, sorry, that's what I was trying to say. Some people, when I'm doing a reading for them, they typically don't want me to, when I'm doing a reading for people, if they don't want me to go on, that hasn't really happened. But actually, that's not true. I did have a reading where I read someone, and usually after the reading, the person wants to talk about what the reading meant to them, you know, and that's not weird to me. But some people want to just leave right after. That's not weird to me at all either. But I think, you know, if you want to, I always want to make that, like, have that pause, because sometimes people... Well, I just want to have that pause so that, you know, if you did want to leave, you could leave, because some people are just not into it, and there's nothing wrong with that. So if you hear your reading and then you don't want to really divulge any information afterwards, that's more than fine. I want to start off with just saying that in the past, I'm seeing that, you know, there was a very strong male presence in your life when you were younger. I want to say that there was a very strong man in your life. But I do definitely see that you have an ability to kind of cut yourself away from people. I think maybe when you were younger, you were just able to walk away from people just without any problem. And since this is pointed towards you, it's showing me it's a positive thing. I feel like you can be a leader as well as, you know, someone that really understands, you know, your place in life. And you don't take yourself too seriously, but you want to go forward. For your present, I have the Emperor. Now, I want to say also that all of these cards are pointed towards you. And I want to say that the Emperor card is showing me that right now you might be kind of thinking about maybe starting something different, maybe kind of breaking away from something that you've been doing. And I think that might be kind of scary, but I know that it's a good thing for you. Even though it's scary, it's something that's really positive, something that makes you really happy, but it's not the path that you were originally on. And I think that's where all the confusion and the being afraid comes from. And I'm also seeing that, you know, if you do take this path, I am seeing that it will be taken as an act of defiance or even aggression. I think in some ways, yeah, right? So in some ways, I see that this is something that is, it's really big to you. And I think it might just be like I think it might be also like a career change. You know, it might be something that involves you just a new path in life. And I think the people around you that have supported you, though they mean a lot to you and though you love them, this is not you showing them you don't love them. I think this is you just doing your own thing. And I think they feel like they've invested so much that they want one outcome for you, and it's just not fair.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God. That's crazy.
That's what I'm seeing for you right now.
That's
but I am seeing that you're very strong-willed. I see a lot of tension with this. I see that, you know, just like they can give it, you can give it right back. And so in a way, there is no success. In a way, there's just a fight. And it just, yeah. And no one's getting ahead here, and it's just like, it's kind of, you know, making the relationship a little harder to kind of keep and be happy about and be positive for, because, you know, I think that you kind of think that whoever is kind of holding you back, they're kind of stuck in their own way, and they're kind of more...
Yes, bitch, you better read me the film. Oh my God.
Let's move on to the second read. Is that all right? Can I move on to the second read?
Let me sit on this just for a second.
No, if you want to talk, you feel free. If you want to go in...
I mean, you're just explaining, like, my inner civil war, honestly, dude. Like, and this big thing, you're not... You're saying it, but I have to tell you, it's like my music. Like, music is everything to me, and I sometimes, you know, I've had people come at me, like, within my own family and just tell me, you know, you can't do this. It's just almost like I wasn't allowed, so I didn't learn how to play guitar until I was 20 years old, after wanting one since I was 12, just because there was always that tension, and I'm like, why won't you just let me go? And they won't, so I'm just like, the older I get, the more I'm just like, screw this, man. I'm really not trying to be, you know, living my life for you. And it's so weird because, like, my mom used to tell me all the time, she's like, don't live your life for me. Don't live your life for me. Do what you want to do. And I'm just like, I know, but you're my mom. You're my mom. But that strong male figure is definitely my granddad, because oh my God. I'm not going to talk about him too much because I'll start crying, but definitely he's been everything.
Yeah, I see that. I see that, you know, maybe in a way that, you know, he's an inspiration to your music, you know, a way for you to kind of find your own voice and be just as soulful. Because I see that this is a person that, you know, they were there for you, but in so many ways that it's like, it's impossible to really repay them back. It's almost, it's impossible. It's freaking impossible, man. But it's something that bothers you. You wish that you could give back, or you know, is he still with us? Is he still with us?
Yeah, he's still here.
And the thing is, you know, and that's a beautiful thing, because you actually have time to still spend. And I think the thing to realize is people who are older than us, they've lived so much, and they've done so many things that, you know, the biggest reward for them is to show them that you listen to what they say. And I think that he's a free spirit. I think that he really wants you to be happiest, and I think that that's what it lives inside of you, and that's what kind of propels you forward in your music, is the fact that he had support for you. And it matters for you to have support from the other people that you care for, but I think him being your cheerleader is like the biggest thing, and kind of like making it your dream real for you, and just realizing your actual power. Do I have your permission to move on to the next reading?
Yeah, we can move on now.
Okay. Alright, I'm seeing some good stuff. Alright, so the first placement is for the One of Swords, and I'm seeing it upside down, which is showing me that maybe somebody out there has a big crush on you, and I'm seeing that there's nothing but positivity coming from that person. I'm not sure who that person is. Maybe you're not all the way sure who that person is, but I think maybe someone that you consider a friend, or someone that you consider a confidant even. You know, I think that they have feelings for you more than you might think, and maybe you just don't see it all the way. But I think that they really do care for you, and that they're really in your life for real. And this could be an intimate relationship, but this could also be a friendship that's kind of moving towards, you know, maybe a deeper connection. That in relationships, I think that you want someone to be around, but I think when you actually get them around, it might not be all that you wanted. It might be harder for you to deal with someone else's personality with yours, but I think that you have this base level want to be desired. I think most people do, but I think that you want someone to, I think you want someone to burn hot for you, like so badly, to kind of open you up, because I think that you can be kind of cold and just kind of despondent, and not because you want to be, just because no one's ever like given you that spark of passion. I think you're waiting for someone to kind of open you up. And you know, I think that's something that we kind of get stuck in, and that's why we're single for so long, because we want someone to give us something to make us react. I think there's a different side of you that's deeper, and it yearns to connect with someone, if not only sexually, but also intimately, like on a whole nother level. I think you really want to be able to just open up and bare your soul to someone, and I think that's a deep relationship. And I think because you're kind of inexperienced in relationships as a whole, it seems like there's only like fucking and bullshit relationships, and there's no real way to connect. But that's why I'm saying I think there's someone that you're friends with, or someone that you're not super close with just yet, but I think it has to start from a friendship for it to actually to grow with you specifically, because you don't want to just fuck someone. You don't want to get left. I think you really want the stability.
That's my problem.
Yeah, you don't want to get left. And the thing is, you have to build trust with someone, because in order to get left, you know, you have to be with someone. In order to be with someone, you have to be honest with them about what the fuck it is that you want. I feel like sometimes it's hard for you to articulate that, because all the people that come at you, they come at you on some, maybe not strictly disrespectful, but they're not really talking the way you want someone to talk to you. You want someone to approach you a certain type of way, and you're just not going to settle. And I think that comes from, you know, you just realizing, you know, from you know, your grandfather, maybe, like what a strong, you know, male figure is to you, and what it is that you expect out of someone. And I just want you to know that, you know, that is possible. It is possible to meet someone like that, but don't expect everyone to be who he is to you. You're never going to have that exact relationship. So I think that the strength that you need from someone else, a partner, I think it has to really come from an organic place. You can't just want them to be strong on their own. You have to be willing to say, well, you know, this person isn't exactly what I want, but I think, you know, they're worth getting to know, and maybe that you guys can build a relationship that works out. Because there's compromise, you know? Maybe you're not going to find someone who's super smart and super, you know, charming like your grandfather, or maybe even like just super like strong like mentally, but I think if you look for someone and you don't count them out right away for their flaws and actually get to know them, then maybe you can kind of figure out what you need to work on and what they need to work on as a whole, and then work together. People who are not sexually experienced, I don't want to say, you know, you're waiting for someone to take your virginity. I think in reality, I think you're waiting to like share sexual experience with someone and have a deep connection. There's nothing wrong with that. That's not unrealistic, but you have to be realistic about where you are. You're in college right now. Where are you looking for guys? You know, where are you going? You have to just be honest with yourself about what's available to you in terms of, you know, people and where they're at, you know, where they're at mentally, financially, emotionally. You know, there are people that are just unstable, period. So I think, you know, just keep being yourself, but definitely put yourself out there more. You know, I know that you can be super fun, but also, you know, why not go on a few dates? You know, why not just set up a few dates? That it doesn't have to be that serious. I know that, like, guys are kind of weird and, like, who's just taking bitches on dates. But I think if you put yourself out there, if you ask someone out, you know, all they can do is say no. That's the worst thing that can happen, is they're like, no. And it's not the worst thing ever. It just means that they don't want to go on a date with you. And that's not the worst thing in the world. The worst thing in the world would be if they like slandered you and were like mean to you, which I don't think anyone's going to be. If you're honest with them, if there's someone that you've met before, I wouldn't advise just going up to random people and be like, want to go on a date? But I think you should, if you find someone that you like, get to know them, learn something about them, and then use that in a conversation, and then, you know, go from there. But it's not going to just fall in your lap. I think in some ways you kind of have this fantasy where, you know, someone just happens to you, you know, you're just that quiet girl on the train, and you look around and you hope that someone notices you and like lusts after you, and that's not normal. I hate to say that, but that is so TV bullshit.
I know. I'm having to like deprogram myself from a lot of situations, because I'm like, and this is the part where he's gonna kiss you, and then the other part's like, are you fucking me? Like, you can't be serious right now. That's not
but you know, that's life. I totally know this whole life. I know exactly what you're talking about, and it's valid. You know, you want that. You know, you want the fairy tale. It's not stupid. But I think if you do want to have something like a fairy tale, you have to kind of put yourself out there. There's really not that many fairy tales with girls just being like, hey, I want to go on a date with you, because like for some reason like we're just held in this position. But I think you can kind of pull yourself out of that and just be, you know, the strong woman that you are, and just go up and just be honest. Just be honest. Like, hey, you know, I really like this about you, or I want to get to know you more. Let's go out. Because a date doesn't have to mean that we're fucking after. A date can literally mean we're just getting to know each other. We're going out to eat, maybe watching a movie. I wouldn't advise watching a movie. That's kind of the anti-date. But
I hate that. It's so boring to me.
Yeah. Me too. I hate going to the movies. You should just be more open-minded to it. Maybe just, you know, ask some people out that, you know, you have a connection with or that you talk to. But definitely just make conversation. You know, just say, hey, what's up? What kind of music are you listening to? People always want to talk about their fucking music all the time. So, you know, that's a great open. And maybe you might find some new shit you like. Who knows? You know, so many people like so many obscure bands that only have like one album. So, yeah.
Oh my God, I'm sorry. Like, I was just mulling over what you just said, like, maybe 10 minutes ago about that person that you, like, confide in and shit, and that they, whoa, that's really weird.
What? Tell me.
I hope it's not him. Well, I kind of do, but it's weird. It's weird. It's freaking me out. Okay. I'm going to tell you. I'm just going to tell you.
Just tell me.
So, music, so my love more than anything. And then I have this friend who is like the shit. Like, he's like probably the coolest guy in this town. Love him to death. And so, like, we spent a whole lot of time together, and recently, like, we made this song, and it was amazing. Like, I was about to cry when we were done with it. I was like, this is the most beautiful thing that I've ever heard.
See, that's...
And
oh, no, go ahead.
It's weird, because I don't know, because sometimes I'm like, how can I be making music so beautiful with somebody and then not, like, and there not be, like, a price to pay?
I think, you know, maybe this person is falling for you. As another musician, I think there is an understanding when you collaborate. You know, there is a flow, because you can't just collaborate with any old person. Like, your sound.
Yeah, oh God, I tried.
No, yeah, your sound has to flow, your vibe has to be right, you know, and I just feel like the vibe is right. And, you know, the fact that you didn't think of them right away, like I said, this card is upside down. This is someone you are not checking for, let me tell you. Like, this is someone you're not checking for. They're checking for you. So I think that you need to just be paying attention. I also see in finances that, you know, maybe, you know, money isn't like super awesome, but I do see that, you know, you are kind of, you know, I see somebody trying to give you like lessons on money. I do see someone trying to help you in that situation, and I think you should listen to them because they got some good advice. You know, I think you know, you do have a big dream, and it is going to cost you some money. So I think right now you're trying to be on your hustle Simmons. I think you're trying to think of like any way you can make as quickly like as quick and as much as you can make. You want to do it within reason. You know, I do see you having some limitations on some stuff, but I do see you trying trying to make money as quickly as possible. But the thing is, you know, while you're in school, it's hard for you to be focused on so many things while trying to make money. But the person that is giving you money advice, they're not stupid. They're very intelligent, and they know what they're talking about. So really listen to that person, because what they're telling to you is some real shit. Whether it be tax information or, you know, how to kind of, you know, get more out of your money, shopping advice, just listen, because I think in some ways you realize that sometimes your money goes, and you just don't know where it went. Like, you really just are like, well, how did I spend all of this money? Like, I had a budget. Like, you had a budget. You paid your bills. You bought fun stuff. But now there's nothing left for incidentals, you know? And you find yourself in a situation and you ain't got no coins and everybody wants to do stuff. And now you're like, well, damn, you know, I took care of myself. You know, I got all the necessities and I got a few nice things, but I don't got nothing else. So I think it's really important for you to remember that, because, you know, you are saving up for something. I do see something big in your future. I do see something coming up that you really want to be a part of that is going to cost you some money, maybe either running a space or just, you know, selling tickets or something. But I do see money coming to you, but I do see you just needing to, like, really hunker down and focus your money. And I think you might need to go as far as, like, having a separate bank account and just keeping the money in there just so that you don't touch it. Because I think sometimes you have some money and you're like, oh, well, I'm getting some more money. Like, I don't got to worry about this. And then you spend it, and then you don't get no more money, and then you'll be bugging. That's what I see that, boo-boo. I see that. Listen, just be real with yourself, be honest with yourself, but also let this person help you, because there's nothing better than free financial advice, honestly.
Clearly I need it. What the hell?
Yeah, I do see you needing it. So if you want to talk, right now is the time. Did you feel like this was a good read? Were you happy with the read?
That was amazing.
I'm happy.
I'm happy as hell too.
That's so good.
Great. I didn't want you to be like, man.
Honestly, if those are the cards, I usually shuffle the deck. I'm kidding, I don't. I really don't do that. But no one has really had a reading that, you know, was like really crazy bad. You know, I think some people were in relationships that were bad for them, and they kind of saw that in the read, and they were like, okay, you know, someone else can see it, and they're not even in my life, so that's kind of a sign. But, you know, I think for the most part, all the good news is stuff that people are working towards already, and they just really need another person to be like, I see this, you know, I see you doing this, like, keep going. Like, you need a cheerleader sometimes, someone to just be like, I see your life, you know, I see what's going on, and you just want to, like, offer a kind of peace of mind, because I think, especially you in your situation with your family, it's very hard to kind of go against what they want, because like I can tell they've been in your life, but your grandfather being in your life, that support is like immeasurable. Like you said, it's so prevalent, and it's so important that, you know, you not pursuing music, I feel like, will be against him in a way. I feel like he would just
like, there's no way he could have given me all this beauty and then I'm supposed to hoard it. Like, no.
No, yeah, I feel like he just gave you so much, and I think that's why you're busting out with your music. I feel like that's why it feels like such a fever inside of you to kind of just push it out and just do what you're meant to do. I feel like you were made for this, and you were like your voice, raw talent, girl. Like, bitch, when they auto-tune you, you do have a lot of strength, and you are a very strong person, and you're resilient, and you've been through some shit. Like, you've been through some real shit in your life, and it might not have been, you know, like, as deep as you might think. Like, I think, like, you have people in your life right now that are going through some real shit with their family, and I think that maybe that might make you feel like inadequate, only because I think that some people make pain such a big thing in their life that it's like, you know, you don't want to play the who's been hurt worse a game, you know what I mean? Like, oh, well, let me top your sad story with mine.
Because that was happening to me. I had a friend that, like, was always wanting to be one up with the sob shit. And I'm like, bro, I'm telling you this so I can get it out of me so I can be happy. You're telling me this so you can one up me and then be sad about it for 4 hours. Like, no.
Yeah, you don't need that in your life. But I do see that, you know, like, I do see that you've attempted a couple times, I think, you know, to kind of explain to the people that are against your dream, you know, that it is your dream. And as I said, there is a stalemate. So I think it's one of those things where you just kind of need your space, and you just need to, like, shut them out for a little bit and produce and do what it is for yourself. You know, be as productive as you can be, and then maybe show them, you know, what it is that you've been working on so that they can kind of get an idea. Because I think that, in a way, they're just not understanding of your talents, And I think you just need to show them that. I think in a way they just really haven't been able to see that it's not a hobby for you. This is your dream. Yes.
Bitch, I'm telling you. That's what I tell them. I'm trying to get you to understand, like, this is not a hobby. Ugh.
I see that. I appreciate you for letting me read your cards, because it's a personal thing, you know, letting someone just kind of read you for filth and just go in and just, you know. But I really appreciate it, honestly.
Thank you.
Thank you.